I promise you, I've got the answers right here. Come and join me. Okay, joking. Uh, what I thought was kind of humorous, kicking off this video off the grid, my sister jokingly had said whenever I was doing all this, she had made the comment, of course derogatory, "Are you the Unabomber or David Koresh or something?" Well, I didn't really know who either one of those people were. So I had, what was it? You notice my shirt? Gina loves this one, my wife. Cult leaders seeking followers. That's true. So hit me up. No, I'm kidding. But it's funny. It makes you say, okay, what is a cult? I didn't even know who. I knew when I was in high school, the whole David Koresh thing, Waco. But I really didn't know anything about it until my wife, Gina, had said, hey, let's watch this Netflix, I think it was Netflix, special a couple years ago on David Koresh, Waco, etc. Anyway, my sister kept making the comments, so I found a mask and I put it in one of the windows, just like it was peeking out. Anyway, it made me think, well, what is a cult? And, you know, it's funny we say that. So I just, went to Webster's. Who knows? I mean, up is down and down is up these days. But according to Webster's, a cult is a system of veneration and devotion directed toward a particular figure or object. Okay, well, that kind of sounds like the secular job I work right now, but let's keep going. A relatively small group of people, I don't know why it's a small group, but okay, having beliefs or practices regarded by others as strange or sinister. Okay, well, I mean, Christianity, pretty much any religion would fall into that group then. And then lastly, a misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing. Now, what's funny about that is I thought it was worth at least having a discussion on, is if you notice my hat, I'll show you. You can see that. Gecko the Great, the king of Wall Street. Ooh, hold on. There we go. Michael Douglas. Awesome. Good movie. And honestly, even though some people dislike the sequel, I thought it was actually pretty good. I didn't win. I was putting out for a bid on one of the dark paintings that was featured in the film. Anyway, I lost. Who cares? But point being, it kind of begs the question, what is a cult? And it's funny to me, since we're talking about this channel being called Leaving the Matrix, hence the 1998 film, The Matrix, Lawrence Fishburne, Keanu Reeves, etc., that where I work right now, basically it is the Gordon Gecko. Just follow, Sam Walton. And again, each your own. I don't mean that in a bad way, but I'd read somewhere where someone was like kind of beating up on Walmart, the biggest company in the world. And they said that, well, they venerate Sam Walton, the founder, like he's some saint. Well, I actually see that. I mean, I see people, most of them have retired, since I'm kind of in that middle point. I just hit my 20 years, pat myself on the back. But a lot of the people that have retired before me, I mean, they will get all like teary-eyed talking about Sam Walton. I'm like, dude, he's just another cracker. I mean, seriously, he made a ton of money. He did nothing with it. He left it to his kids. Rob Walton just recently bought the Denver Broncos. Hey, awesome. Pat yourself on the back. Who cares? So my point being here is, who is the cult? I think it's funny that if I said, hey, I'm going to start, having religious studies here, and this is in by no way defending David Koresh or any weird cultish person, But what I'm saying is, I'm looking in the mirror here. I think fighting for the American dollar, and so I can buy more stuff, in the words of Tyler Durden, cover your ears, buy more shit that I don't even really want to impress people that I don't like. Why? And then to sit there and say, well, this person's a cult. Okay, what are we? And I just think it's very ironic that if I said, hey, I'm going to focus on Gordon Gekko and acquiring more wealth so I can buy tons of more stuff to entertain myself, to entertain my friends, people will mostly say, that's great, James. Hey, I'm buying a new Corvette. James, that's awesome. You know what? I think I'm going to go off the grid. I mean, there's more to life than just buying all this stuff, and it doesn't really make me happy in the first place. James, you freak. Are you in a cult or something? Well, I'm sorry. I'll just buy more stuff. Thank you, James. Now you're normal. So, I don't know. I thought it was funny / ironic, and I thought that, I don't know, I just felt that I needed to say something about this whole cult mentality. Who's the cult? The person that just does rinse and repeat and works themselves to an early grave, fill in the blank. Well, I'm gonna save up money so that I can give it to my kids, so that it can ruin their lives, and then I can feel better about myself, and people will pat me on the back. Okay, hold on a second. Who's the cult? And I just thought, since I had just recently hit my 20 years at Walmart, the biggest corporation in the world, that I should at least kind of bring that up. And again, I think that's funny if we're talking about taking the blue pill, the red pill, hence the name of this title, the channel, Leaving the Matrix. Whether we're talking about, any movie, Fight Club, Into the Wild, all of this stuff is constantly talking about counterculture, leaving the norm. So I just find it so ironic that, now that I, as of yesterday, am 45, means I'm closer to 50 than 40. Yes, I'm still working at the biggest corporation in the world. Who is the cult? So again, I'll just leave it with you to decide that. But just ironic, since a couple of people had brought up, well, what you're doing is weird. And the other people we've seen featured, Brian, which we'll talk about later, Scott, all of us, me 45 now, Brian 50, Scott 55, almost 56, doing something a little bit different from quote unquote the norm is considered a little bit weird / cultish. So I thought should probably just address that right off the bat. So again, in a comical kind of way, I would just challenge you to think about what you mean by cult. If you're pursuing the American dollar, is it any less cultish? Well, I want a really big house. I need 6,000 square feet. Okay, this person over here is going to just live their life. Well, that's weird. Says who? So again, hopefully, it's kind of like, you start getting the hamster wheel turning. Who cares what other people think, right? I mean, again, we'll go into that later, but, I've got advanced degrees in philosophy, theology, history, and it's a charade. So again, just ask yourself, what is a cult and why do you think it that way? And I'll just leave it at that. Hashtag Gordon Gekko.